visitation the whole summer because we do have to be aggressive. We are running against this sense that, and we've all heard it, that traffic's going to be crazy. The problem with a major event like the Games, it's a wonderful opportunity on the one hand, but at the same time, it creates great anxiety. It creates a lot of conversation about traffic, about the expectation that things are going to be too busy, and it's just not the time to go to Toronto. And the problem is that there's a long tail to that, both before and after the Games. People don't know exactly when they start. We have to be very aggressive in pushing the entire summer experience, and so that's what we've been doing this year, and focus as loudly as we can on the reasons to be here, not on the reasons not to be here or to get in and out as fast as you can, but on the reasons to be here and spend some time for the Games, for all the other festivals going on this summer, what's new in the attractions across the entire region. Now, just on the Games, one other thought is the legacy of the Games is important to touch on. I know we've touched on it in this committee and elsewhere before, but it comes in a few forms. One, of course, is the exposure and profile that Toronto will receive in some key markets. We're working very closely with rights-holding broadcasters in Brazil, Mexico, and Argentina that we've established as key growth target markets for long-term tourism. So the exposure that we'll have in those markets will, we expect, will lead to long-term visitation and increased demand to come to Toronto from those markets. The other part of it is the sport tourism business, and if you look at facilities like the Aquatic Centre in Scarborough, that allows us to bid on international sporting events to a degree that we couldn't before. And I'm not talking about Olympics per se. This is about international swimming competitions or cycling or other sport competitions that we simply haven't had the sports infrastructure to bid on before. It's a big part of our business. We have a dedicated sport tourism sales team that just bids on and wins major sporting events. So having an increase in our sports infrastructure enables us to bid on events that just weren't even open to us before. And that brings me to the third part, which is the meetings and conventions and major event attraction. It's a good time to be talking about this because this week we have in town 20,000 psychiatrists. The American Psychiatric Association is meeting here. In fact, they're just wrapping up their meeting, so you can insert your joke about psychiatry here. But 20,000 psychiatrists are here. Now, that's a meeting that we booked in 2005. And it's common that these things are booked 5 or 10 years out, sometimes only 2 or 3 years, but when you have a meeting, when you have to think about moving 20,000 people around, you've got to lock down your venues, lock down your hotels, and make plans. So they book about 10 years out. Now, the Psychiatry Association is not to be confused with the American Psychological Association. They're coming in August, and that's another 11,000 people. That one was booked in 2006. Just a coincidence that they're in the same year, but again, insert your psychiatry and psychology jokes here. It's a good year for hosting meetings, but last year we had a very strong year in booking future meetings. So our team booked 440 future meetings that will total 640,000 future room nights. Some of them are in the next year or two, but some of them